Good morning students, welcome back to our SS online classes. I hope you all are fit, fine and safe at your home. Today we are going to start with a new chapter and the name of the chapter is chapter 13, Gender Inequality. Now as you all know that when a distinction is made between the males and females and unequal treatment is meted out to them in different fields, it is called as gender inequality. Means what? A distinction is made between the males and females. Distinctions means what? That a difference is created. Okay, you are a man, you are a woman. So this difference is created, and according to that difference, the treatment is given. Unequal treatment is given. That men's can do more work than women's. They are not doing any work. Okay, the inferiority complex is given to the women's, and the men's they are given the superiority complex. So the treatment is given according to that, and this is called as gender inequality. What it is called as? Gender inequality. Now in India, in families and society, this type of behavior is taught and this type of behavior is accepted in the society. Like in the childhood, what the girls are, the girls, they are allowed to stay at home and do the household work at home. But the boys, they are allowed to go out and play with the friends. They are allowed to go in the school and study and take education. But this, this inequality is giving rise in the rise in the house itself, and that is why this gender inequality is starting from the home itself. In this chapter, you are going to study about the different aspects of the gender inequality and women's empowerment. Now, the first topic is the difference between the terms gender and sex. Now, what is sex? The sex is the biological differences that is between the males and the females. It is not created by anybody, but it is the natural. Okay, it is a natural factor. But gender is not a natural factor. Okay, it is created by the society. It is a socially constructed difference between the two sexes, that is males and females, and that is why it is affecting the relationship between the men's and the women's. Plus it is prescribing the specific roles for them, and it is defining the social status according to that the men's can do so and so work, the females can do so and so work. So it is defining the different status for the different men's and women's in the society. The birth of the boy child is celebrated in the house, while whereas the girl child is born, then nobody is happy in the house. And this attitude shows that the females are having the inferior status in the society, while the males are having the superior status in the society. And this inequality is created by ages. Not only it is now, but throughout the ages, from many years we are finding this inequality in our society, and it is being reflected to all the men's and women's relationship in the society, and in the way the males and females look at it and deal with each other in the same manner. Now in our society there are well defined roles for the males and females, that females have to do the household works at home, they have to take care of the children, then they have to look after their house. But men's, they can go out and earn, they can have a leisure time with their friends, they can enjoy their life. But this gender, it is prescribing what a man should do, what a woman should do, what a man should not do, what a woman should not do. So all these things, they are prescribed in this gender inequality. Now what is actually gender inequality? We are going to study that. The first point in it is biological determinism. What is biological determinism? There is a traditional theory which points to the biological differences between the females and males, and this is the main reason for this. And this view of natural differences is called as biological determinism. Means what? That there is a theory. Theory means what? It is in the minds of the people that okay, the males are going to do these things, the women are going to do this thing. So this is the natural difference, it has been set into the minds of the people. ये लोगों के दिमाग में छप गया है कि बस लेडीज है तो उनको यही काम करना है, बॉयज है तो उनको यही काम करना है, गर्ल्स है तो उनको यही करना है. So this difference has been created into the minds of the people, and this is what it is called as biological determinism. And it insists that certain behaviors are unchangeable. Means the behavior which is there in the minds of the people, it is not changeable. The people are not ready to change it. So it is unjustifiable. And after analyzing the gender relationship, you will find that they originated not from the physical or biological factors society. Means what? This inequality is arising from the society. It is not created by the nature, it is not any biological or physical factors, but it is originating from the society, from the house, from the family. And we all know that nobody is superior or nobody is inferior. कोई भी ऊपर नहीं है, कोई भी नीचे नहीं है. Everybody is equal. God has created everybody equal. But we people in the society have created this difference, and that is why this inequality is rising day by day in the society. So gender refers to such social constructed feminine and masculine patterns of behavior for men and women. If you are a woman, then you have to behave in a particular way in the society. If you are men, then you are free to behave in such a manner in the society. So family, school, religion, media greatly influence the formation of our thoughts, patterns and behavior. So who all are affecting our thoughts and patterns? Family, school, plus the religion you follow, plus the media over there is playing a great role in these patterns. And as individuals are growing up, as the children are growing up and becoming mature, they are accepting the same thing which are going on from ages to ages. जैसे चलते आ रहा है वो वही thoughts लेकर बड़े होते जा रहे हैं. And this gender inequality is still going on in India, and that is why it is going on. And one of the important area this gender influences is the division of labor, which in turns affect the individual access to resources, benefits and the power to make decisions. Means what? When it comes to the work, then men, they are doing all the work and they are making all the decision parts, whereas the woman, she is only working in the house and she does not have the decision making power. So this gender inequality is creating a great influence in the division of labor. The roots of the gender discrimination and inequality can be found in it, and as the gender roles are socially assigned, they also vary with the class, race, caste, ethnicity, religion, age and time. So in all the things you will find the gender inequality or gender discrimination. If you belong to any caste, then also there is a gender discrimination. Class or caste, any religion, or you be at any age, then also you will find the gender discrimination at whatever time. Okay, so on all these factors also there is an impact on all these factors because of gender discrimination. And this equality can be achieved only through the proper, when a person gets a proper maturity and a proper education, and he should have the experience so that he can understand the difference between the gender inequality and the gender equality. Now what is gender equality? It is a state where the female and males both have the equal opportunity. So gender equality means what? That males and females, they have both the equal opportunities so that they can prove themselves that nobody is inferior or nobody is superior. For example, girls should be given the opportunity to come to the schools and show their talent in the field of education, not only boys, isn't it? So nowadays the girls are getting the equal opportunities and they are proving themselves that nobody is inferior or nobody is superior. In fact, this means that every male or female can pursue a broad range of interests, subjects, careers and lifestyle. So in all the factors, everybody should get an equal opportunity so that they can prove themselves and their lifestyles can be improved. Now children can learn how to interact with each other, especially in the case of males and females, interaction at home, school and community life. When the people, socially they are interacting with each other, from that the children learn very much. If they are giving proper treatment to all the genders, then the children will learn those things at home and in the society, and they will carry up these things when they grow up. So if gender inequality is pursued, means what? अगर आप gender inequality कर रहे हो तो बच्चे भी वही सीखते हैं और बड़े होके भी वो वही फॉलो करते हैं. अगर आप सही से if you are giving equal status to everyone, then the children will learn those things and they will become a better person when they grow up. Our family structures creates a great impact on the individual's behavior in the society, in the family and at the workspace. Now how your family is there? If the family is creating the gender inequality at the house, then obviously the children are going to learn the same thing in the house and they are going to follow the same things in the society, and when they grow up they are going to follow follow the same things at all the places they will go. So a family is playing an important role in this, and early in life traits of dependency and helplessness are instilled in women, and because of this what is happening, the women, they are not becoming independent, they are becoming dependent, and that is why they are feeling helpless, means they cannot do anything without the help of the males, without the help of the boys they are not able to do anything. So this inferiority complex is created in the minds of the women's when they are not given the equal opportunity. Plus boys, they are allowed more freedom during their childhood, where the girls, they are not allowed so much of freedom, and that is why they are expected to take the future roles. That is the future role of the mother, taking care of the house from the early years of the life. When the girls, in the olden times, they used to they were not allowed to go to the school, they were not allowed to play outside, but rather to help the mother, then take care of their siblings, younger brother or sister, and that is why they were expected that how their mothers are performing the roles, they will take care of the same role in the future, and they were prepared like that. So these traditional expectations of how men and females should behave can have severe consequences of the health and personality of the men and the women. So when this things are created in the house, what is happening because of this, it is affecting the health and the personality of a particular person or a particular individual. Boys are getting more freedom, girls are not getting the freedom, so it is affecting their mental health also, their physical health also, plus their personality also. The women's, they are less confident when they are going out, they cannot interact socially with the other people if they are staying at home. So social expectations of men to be self-contained, emotionally controlled, self-sufficient. Now because of this what is happening, the boys, ऐसा बोलते कि boys कभी रोते हैं क्या, लड़के, boys they cry or what, they don't cry, they are emotionally strong. So what is happening, that the boys, they become self-contained, okay, I have everything, I can do anything, plus they are emotionally controlled, they are self-sufficient, and that is why they don't open themselves, they cannot express their emotions in front of others, दूसरों को अपनी feelings नहीं बता सकते, they cannot express, and that is why they lack the openness, they cannot show what is there in their heart, what they actually mean. Whereas women on the other hand, they are expected to be emotional, sensitive, nurturing, dependent and non-violent, and because of this such things they become inferior, कि उनको बोला जाता है आप इमोशनल बनो, सेंसिटिव, आप दूसरों का ध्यान रखो, आप डिपेंडेंट हो जाओ, isn't it? Then because of that, you don't have to hit anyone, आप नॉन वायलेंट नहीं हो सकते हो, आप किसी के साथ मारपीट नहीं कर सकते हो. So all these things are taught to the girl, right from the birth, and that is why they are, the inferiority complex is created in their mind that without men they are nothing in this world, and that is why these expectations are created in the minds of the child. And by the time when the child is ready to go to the school, this gender inequality is fit in the mind, and with this expectations only the child is coming to the school and he is behaving in the school. So gender and social inequalities. The next topic is gender and social inequalities. Now gender inequality is related with other forms of social inequality. In principle, men and women are equal and having same rights and duties. Means what? That how according to the Constitution of India, men are having the right and the women also are having the equal rights and equal opportunities, and that is why because of the gender inequality, the social inequalities are also increasing. In practice, what is happening, that men, they are getting better jobs, better salaries, plus they are making important decisions in the family, they have a better position in the society, but women's, they don't have all these facilities. If they are working, then they will not get a better post in the place where they are working, they will not get a better salary as compared to the men, plus they will कि ये तो ladies है तो इनको इनका decision नहीं मानना है, such thinking is also there in some places where they are working. Plus the boys, the number of boys, they are more in the school as compared to the girls, and girls, they are made to stay at home and do the household work and look after the younger brothers or sister. Plus Plus they are married off very early and bear the children at very young age. At the age of 18 years or 15 years, 16 years, they get married. In villages till now they get married at such age, and then at young age they bear the children. Now the next topic is economic aspects of gender. What are the economic aspects of the gender? The socio-economic relations between women and men are largely unequal in most sections of a society. Women receive unequal distribution of land and access to resources such as food and healthcare. Means what? When the socio-economic status, when the property is divided, that time the women's, they are giving the less land is given to them, less access to resources are given. Means the food is also, the food is not, proper food is not given to the women's in the house. Plus the healthcare facilities are also not provided. Okay, if the woman is suffering from headache or stomach ache, then what they will say, oh, you are young, so that means what, your head will pain or what? Come on, don't do any dramas, come on, get up and work, isn't it? So such type of treatment is given to the women at home. In many houses or in many families we can see this, and that is why this socio-economic relation between the men and women, they are unequal, isn't it? And that is why this difference is created, and the increasing number of girls and women are living in the poverty, and because of this the girls and women, they are living in poverty, and the gap between the men and women is widening. Because of this the men are becoming more and more rich, they are living a luxurious life, while the ladies, they are not, they are having less money in their hand, and that is why they are not having the decision making power. Now in some countries, the men and women inherit land equally. The property is distributed them between them is equally. Plus the women are having the equal socio-economic status. Means what? They have the social economic power, and plus they have the political power equally as the men in the developed countries. In many western countries, and increasing women are entering traditionally male dominated professions. Means the professions in which only the men were working earlier, now the women are also entering into that profession. For example, in army earlier only men were allowed to work, but nowadays the women are also coming and taking part in the army. अगर आप आर्मी की बात करो तो पहले सिर्फ जेंट्स लोगों को अलाउ किया जाता था आर्मी ज्वाइन करने के लिए, बट नाउ इट इज़ नॉट लाइक दैट. द सिनेरियो इज चेंजिंग. नाउ द गर्ल्स आर ऑल्सो कमिंग एंड ज्वाइनिंग द आर्मी. So this is the socio-economic status is becoming equal for women nowadays. Plus the partners in the developed countries, they are also helping the women in their household works, and the things are changing in the developing countries also. Nowadays in India is also the especially the educated people, they are working outside, plus they are helping their partners in their household duties also. They are also working equally at house and outside also. Now what are the effects of gender inequality on women? Because of this gender inequality, what are the effects that are happening? The very first thing is the malnutrition. As I have told you that boys and girls, the different status is given. Boys are given nice food at home. Come on, ये लड़का है तो इसको बाहर जाके कमाना है, इसको अच्छा खाना दो. लड़की है घर पे काम करना है तो इसको इतना अच्छा खाने की क्या जरूरत है? And because of this such things are still prevalent in India, and that is why the malnutrition is occurring right from the childhood age. And that is why women they eat last. There is a tradition in India कि सबके खाने के बाद ही लेडीज लोगों को खाना है, और वो भी कम से कम खाना है. सो पूरी जिंदगी बेचारी वो औरत क्या करती है? She will eat last and least throughout the life, and that is why when she is pregnant also, that time she has to wait for everybody to eat and then you eat. So this is why the woman is becoming malnourished, and that is why when she is giving a birth to the child, that time that child is also becoming malnourished child, and that is why in India most number of malnutritious child are born in India. The second thing is that the poor health, and because women receive less healthcare facilities, less nourished food, and that is why poor health is found in the women in India. Then this next thing is lack of education. Girls, as they are not allowed to go to school and take education, and that is why the girls they are uneducated, plus they are they are made to stay at home and help and do the household work. Plus overwork. Girls, the women's, they are working for the long hours and their work is often more difficult than that of the men. If man is going out and working for 8 hours, 10 hours and he is coming home and relaxing, but for women it is not like that. From the the morning she gets up till she goes to sleep, 24 hours she is going to work, and the work it is not considered. Yes or no? So the work of the women is more difficult as compared to the work of the men. Plus mistreatment. The next one is the mistreatment. Now there is there are sharp cases are increasing, crimes are increasing against the women because of the lack of the awareness and poor social education. Because of this, the cases are increasing day by day against the women. Because of the dowry system, then female infanticides, selling of young girls into marriages, Dahej Pratha, then अगर गर्ल चाइल्ड हो गई तो उसको मार डालना, then some small girls are there, then they give the money for the marriages of these girls. So all these are the crimes against the girls that are happening in the society because there is a lack of education. People are not aware about these things, and that is why this mistreatment is done against the girls, and we as a educated people, we should try to stop this. Plus the next one is the powerlessness, because the women's they don't have the power to decide to whom they will get married, and that is why they are married at a very early age. The rights are not given to the girls that you are going to marry to this boy or to that boy, but at a very early age, if the man is of more aged also, then also the girls are married to that man, and because of that the women's, they don't have this power. It is their own life, but still they don't have this power to decide their life partner. Then the next topic is the women's work is not considered. Now as you all know that women's, they work throughout the day, but still their work is not considered. If for example, your mother is doing the work, she is doing cooking, household keeping, maintenance of the kitchen, gardening, poultrying, grinding of food, collecting water, firewood, but is anything paid to your mother in return to that? No, nothing is paid. Yes or no? मम्मी काम करती है, करने दो, but आप कुछ उसको सैलरी दे दो क्या इसके बदले? No, nothing is given, isn't it? So her work is not recognized. Okay, she is our mother, she is doing all the work, but do we pay her? No, not really. So this is the case happening in India. In all the houses, you will find that women are working throughout the day, but her work is not recognized. And that is why if we are taking into account, then 88% of the rural housewife and 66% of the urban housewife are economically productive. Means 88% women are they are productive in rural areas, while 66% they are productive in urban areas if you are considering their work. And that is why if there is an employment in family farms and business, their productivity is not counted, and any income that is generated from these women, they are taken away by the men. अगर कुछ काम भी कर रहे हैं, उन्हें कुछ पैसे भी मिल रहे हैं, then those money or that income is taken away by the men and used by the men. And that is why the economic dependency of the women on men affects their power within the family, and that is why they have the less power in the family as compared to the man. And this issue is particularly important in India because studies show that very low level of female participates in the labor force, and that is why women's, they very less number of women, they participate in the labor force, and with the increased participation in income generating activities, not only there will be more income for the family, but gender inequality will also be reduced significantly. Means what? जहाँ पर पैसे मिलते हैं उस जगह पे अगर वो काम करेंगे तो obviously they are going to get income out of that, and because of that the income will generate, and that is why the development of the society will also be there, plus the development of this women's will also be there, the gender inequality is going to decrease, and plus the society is also going to develop, and this is going to result into the development of the whole country. The next and the last part of our chapter is the women's empowerment. Now how to empower the women? many movements have been launched so that the women can become socially independent and they can become socially active. A range of government programs have been launched to increase the economic opportunities for the women. Not only NGOs but government, non-professional organizations are there. They are also launching the movement so that the women can be empowered, and then the government also, they are launching the programs so that they can increase the economic opportunities for the women. Now the scenario is changing. Earlier the women were not working, but now the women have started working. Now there are more number of girls in the school as compared to the boys, plus more women are coming out of their house and they are doing jobs in the different fields. For example, in schools, hospitals, in government jobs. Okay, many women are coming and they are taking up the different professions and they are engaging themselves in business activities. Plus many women, they are doing social work also, and this, because of this, the women nowadays, they are becoming financially strong and socially and economically strong. Women's now, they are joining political bodies also. You will see many women, they have joined the politics and they are working in that. Today, women form about 1/3 of the elected representatives at Panchayati Raj institutions in country. So at Panchayati Raj institutions, how many women are there? 1/3 of the total seats, the women are there, and it is a very significant achievement for the women. Plus, there is a fighting for 33% reservation seats in Lok Sabha for the women. So, in the Municipal Corporation of Delhi, 50% seats have been reserved for the women, and this is a great landmark for the women's empowerment. So I hope you people are also going to try to change the gender inequality that is persisting in the society by changing it from our home. Try to give equal treatment to your brothers and sisters, those who are there in the families, so that the gender inequality is going to come out from the families, and so slowly and gradually our society is going to change. I hope you people have understood this chapter. If you have any doubts, please ask me on Google Meet. Thank you so much.